Good morning, students. Today's class is about the mitochondrial structure. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of a cell. Within mitochondria, energy production takes place. That is, ATP gets produced within the mitochondria. Mitochondria can be seen both in plants as well as in animals. Mitochondria can be seen in eukaryotes only. There are no mitochondria in prokaryotes. So here when you observe the mitochondria is a double membrane structure. It shows an outer membrane. So this is the outer membrane. It shows an inner membrane. So this is the inner membrane. The inner membrane shows certain foldings. These are the foldings known as cristae. Inner membrane shows the matrix. This matrix is dense fluid in nature. Okay, if you observe the outer membrane, there are certain structures known as porins. Okay, these porins actually helpful in permeability. So this is the outer membrane. Molecules can able to pass through these porins. Whereas when you observe the inner membrane, the inner membrane shows foldings known as cristae. Inner membrane is impermeable in nature. There are certain transporters which help in movement of molecules across the inner membrane. Even after the production of the ATP gets transported from the inner membrane surface into the cytoplasm of the cell through those transporters. Pyruvate easily enters through the outer membrane porins into the intermembrane space. So this is the intermembrane space. From the intermembrane space, the pyruvate moves into the matrix. So here you can observe the matrix of the mitochondria. So this pyruvate here in matrix actually enters into TCA cycle or citric acid cycle. Then the products of the TCA cycle enters into oxidative phosphorylation on the surface of the cristae known as F1 particles or oxysomes. So this F1 particle or oxysome possesses the ATP synthase. So here on the F1 particle or oxysome, ATP production takes place. On the inner membrane surface on cristae, the ATP production takes place in the presence of ATP synthase enzyme. Whereas in prokaryotes, there are no mitochondria. Then where the ATP production takes place? ATP production in prokaryotes takes place in the cytoplasm itself. That is, in bacteria within the cytoplasm, the ATP production takes place. Coming to the matrix shows the presence of the ribosome. So this ribosome is helpful in the decodifying the DNA into RNA into protein. So this matrix shows the circular DNA. Okay, so the circular DNA actually they are maternally inherited. That is, mitochondrial DNA is maternally inherited from the mother. That DNA gets passed on. Then it shows certain granules. These granules are shows the deposits of calcium, shows the RNA along with ribosomal particles. Whatever it is, at the end, coming to the functions of the mitochondria actually heat producers, ATP producers. Mitochondria helpful in cellular signaling, cell differentiation, and also in apoptosis, that is the programmed cell death. Mitochondria also play important role in cholesterol metabolism. They also play important role in regulating the hormones such as the estrogen and testosterone. Mitochondria play important role in the detoxification of ammonia in the urea cycle. Coming to the structure of chloroplast, chloroplast is also a double membrane structure. It is found only in plants. There are no chloroplasts in prokaryotes. Chloroplast is the sugar factory. This chloroplast is actually first found from a proplastid. This proplastid gets converted into etioplast, then etioplast gets converted into chloroplast. This chloroplast gets converted into chromoplast. This chromoplast is either yellow in color or orange in color. Then there is another plastid, that is leucoplast. This leucoplast is colorless in nature. It doesn't possess any color. This leucoplast gets converted into amyloplast or proteinoplast or elioplast. Okay, so leucoplast actually stores proteins, lipids and fats. So here if it stores amylose, that is starch, that is known as amyloplast. If it stores proteins, then it is known as proteinoplast. If it stores fats, then it is known as elioplast. Especially these plastids helpful in storage of the food, synthesis of the food. So chloroplast is helpful in synthesis of the food, whereas this leucoplast is helpful in storage of the food. Leucoplast can be seen mainly in seeds and also in roots, whereas chromoplast is seen in flowers and also leaves. So chromoplast actually a green colored leaf or colorful flower, once it dries up, changes into a chromoplast. Colorless also it becomes. Once it dries up, it also becomes colorless or it becomes pale in color. So this chromoplast is mainly helpful in pollination. Because of the colorful flowers, so many flies come over to visit the plant. So coming to the structure of the chloroplast, chloroplast is a double membrane structure. It shows an outer membrane, it shows an inner membrane, it shows intermembrane space, it shows stroma. So within the chloroplast you can see arrangement of disc-like structure one on the another. So these disc-like structures are known as thylakoid. So single structure is known as thylakoid. Within thylakoid, chlorophyll is present. Complete structure is known as, that is full complete structure is known as granum. So within the thylakoid, the photosynthesis takes place. That is, the light energy gets converted into chemical energy. Within the stroma, that chemical energy gets utilized to fix carbon dioxide into sugar. Thus, the total chloroplast is responsible for conversion of the light energy into chemical energy into food material, that is the sugar. If you observe a chloroplast absorbs the visible wavelength, especially longer wavelength of red light and shorter wavelength of blue and violet light, whereas it emits the green light. That is, a plant doesn't absorb the green light, it emits the green light. That's why a plant looks green in color. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel.